How's it going? Hard Talk Radio, Mr. Deadman. Also here with Mr. Victor J. Pee Wee Amadeus Hector Beowulf the Fourth.
Yeah, man, you're getting better, man. This is just about perfect.
You know, I think the prior attempt was better, but it was not recorded right, and we're not gonna even know about it. So you know, you'll find out with me. It's kind of like Spinal Tap. You ever seen the movie Spinal Tap? There's always technical issues all the freaking time, time. Something else. That's what this is like. Yeah. All right, so yeah, we're talking about what's the movie now?
The Beast Must Die.
The Beast Must Die.
That's right.
So, how would you describe this movie, Mr. Beowulf?
I would describe it as a gem in the rough. You know, it's like a diamond that's in the coal, and you know, once you polish it, and you'll see a very strong, shining diamond. It's a lost classic amongst the Amazon Prime jungle. You've got a multimillionaire named Tom, and this movie kind of reminds me of Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee, where they're bringing all these fighters onto an island to figure out who the best is, but there's also other things at play that are behind the scenes. This is very much in the same way. Reminds me quite a bit of Enter the Dragon. The only difference is that you have, once again, the multimillionaire Tom, who is gathering 6 guests at his mansion and wife. And these guests have these questionable pasts where cannibalism has been involved, and he's trying to determine which one is a werewolf.
Which one is a werewolf? That's right. He invited all these people over to his elaborate property. A huge amount of land, lots of acres. I don't know even know if they give us a number, but nice place to figure out who is the werewolf. And it's like in the movie, it's like they kind of know him already too. Like they kind of knew him. I don't know if you caught that from the characters to talk. 2 of the guests, the blonde chick and what's his name, Jan, played by Michael Gambon.
Right. Yeah, this is
played by Dumbledore.
Yeah,
a very young Dumbledore. Like I didn't know that was him. Honestly, when I saw him, I was like, you know what? Who is that guy? Man. But the reason I'm bringing that up is they kind of knew him already. So it's like, wait, did he invite strangers or did he invite his friends that were engaged in cannibalism and stuff? Like, there was like a backstory that I felt like we didn't get. You know, I feel like we could have explored a little bit more on that. That would have been cool.
I feel the same way. That was interesting. You're right about that. I was kind of curious to see if they knew each other beyond just, if they actually met in person before. That it does seem that way, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. It just seemed like Tom Newcliffe is just a crazy, eccentric, rich billionaire friend, like a Tony Stark, but demented, gone crazy, thinking that one of them is the imposter, and gotta find that imposter.
Tom has these leather suits that are custom made to fit when he goes hunting.
Dude, they are fantastic suits, man. Fantastic suits. His clothing line is fantastic, man.
I gotta agree.
I mean, right from the beginning of the movie. Okay, in the beginning of the movie, you're greeted with that message of this is not a murder mystery, but a werewolf movie. You have to figure out who is the werewolf, and there's going to be a werewolf break where you get to figure it out. So, interaction with the audience. I was like,
that would have.
Oh, I was gonna say, Mr. Beowulf, like, did you take a guess?
I did. I actually thought it was going to be the guy who had eaten a little bit of a cadaver in medical school. That was who I was leaning toward, but of course I was way off. Yeah.
That would have been. Which one was that? Do you remember which character that was?
Yeah, that was the guy with the long blonde hair who was kind of stalking him in the woods and shot an arrow at him.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul Foote. Paul Foote was the character. Yeah. That guy.
That's right. That's right.
That guy. And you know what? And they made him look really suspicious.
They sure did.
He's crazy.
Sure did.
Stalking him, trying to kill him with an axe and a bow. No, not really trying to kill him, just pranking him.
Right. Yeah,
Just a prank, bro.
Weird.
Yeah. Oh man. And then he had his hairy hands and back and whatever. It's like, oh, is he turning? Is he turning?
Right.
So I understand.
You know,
oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I understand that guess.
I was a little suspicious too about Jan just because he had run away at the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was another one that I had suspicions about, but ultimately I thought it was Tom, the obvious choice. I was wrong. How about you? Who did you think it was?
Let's see. I was like, I was leaning towards the big guy. That was like when they're passing around the silver candlestick was like shaking it, kind of all weird.
Yeah.
Bennington, played by Charles Gray, who's in.
Yeah.
And he's known for some movies, right?
That's right. He sure is.
I believe in some Bond movies.
You're right. That's exactly where I remember him. You only live twice. Yeah.
I lived twice.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that until just now when I looked it up, but you're right. He did look familiar.
And I was like, it most definitely couldn't be Peter Cushing. It's not going to be him. It's not going to be the doctor guy. There's no way.
Yeah, I didn't think that was possible. I mean, everybody would have suspected that, or at least I thought they would. Yeah. He was an obvious pick, so I figured no way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I figured that, it'd be like two on the nose, two. In Peter Cushing, he usually plays the doctor. He doesn't really. He plays the doctor, so he's going to have the information. He's going to be the guy who kind of explains things. And it turns out he was. He would explain. Anytime they had a question about, will this sting affect a werewolf, or why is it not working, the doctor would have an answer. Though he looked kind of like bored. Like he was like, why am I giving this lecture to you guys? That was my take of that. Oh, let's see.
I thought oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said we definitely have to talk about like the opening, not the beginning warning message or whatever, but I guess the chase sequence.
That was a crazy chase sequence, and you're right. We had been talking beforehand, and you see this character come on the screen, and he's being chased by a helicopter. And so immediately I got the same impression that you said you had, where you thought, oh, they already gave away the werewolf right at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. And so here's this guy, trying to get away, desperately trying to get away, and he falls on these microphones. There's cameras in the trees, and mind you, this is the mid-'70s, and you have CCTV all around the area, and you're like, whoa, this is crazy.
Dude, think about the amount of cables, because they could be remote. Were they remote?
I don't know. I wouldn't think so, but I could be wrong, man. I wasn't even aware that they had that kind of technology back then, to be honest with you.
No. But then again, there's times when he's on the prowl looking for the guy they're chasing. It makes it seem like he's running away. Maybe he did something he wasn't supposed to. Maybe he killed somebody. Maybe stabbed somebody. He's running away.
Right.
And then it turns out it's just all a test. It was a test run. He runs up to this nice estate, this nice property with these white, wealthy-looking people, and he gets shot. It's like, oh man, what kind of movie am I watching here? Is this like some weird Get Out, Dangerous Game, some weird black exploitation thing that I don't know what's going on? No, he is the owner of the property. He's like a crazy Tony Stark.
Yeah.
That, instead of investing his time into armor and technology, he invested into hunting. Oh, I guess crazy technology. I guess for that time, all those remote cameras.
Oh yeah, man, that would have been cutting edge back then, dude. I mean, wow.
Yeah, think about that. Hmm.
And yeah, you find out he's this world-class hunter, and he wants to hunt the ultimate sport, which is the werewolf.
Yeah, the werewolf. Okay. So that's the kind of the premise of the movie. Like, the premise is fine. I didn't have a problem with the premise. I thought that was enjoyable. The other chase sequence, the one where Jan or Michael Gambon tries to get away, and they're in the cars.
Oh yeah.
That one, I was like, oh man, like Fast and the Furious, like those movies really kind of ruined car chases for me now.
Right. He takes like a dozen shortcuts before he finally catches it.
yeah.
It's like every single second is a shortcut. He turns, it goes a different path. It's like, damn, man.
And they're going at the same speed. It's like that. I don't know if that shortcut would actually work, man. What are you doing? It's like, unless you know exactly where he's going, and I don't know, man. But it was, you're watching. Both these vehicles look like they're going like 20 miles per hour.
That's right. That's right.
They weren't going.
It's like,
fast.
I think you can do at least 50, man. Come on.
They were going 20, and they weren't even trying to crash him because they needed those vehicles for another scene, and they didn't have the budget to blow them up and get new vehicles. Do you think about it though? If they just had a crashed in, they wouldn't need to use that car again. They could just, I don't know, make some other explanation. Because you see the car again, right? When he takes the parts out of the cars, so his guests don't leave. And he's gone crazy. Tony Stark going crazy. What have you used? The imposter. Gotta kill him. Crazy stuff. Okay. So yeah, that chase sequence was pretty boring. I gotta say that. But I think
I agree with you.
I think there's a lot I like about this movie. I know it's old, and I know it may not age well, but I think, like you said, like a diamond in the rough. There's a charm to this movie, and I think it's with the cast. It definitely is with the cast. Like Calvin Lockhart, who plays Tom Newcliffe.
Right.
He was great as I
agree.
The billionaire, greatest hunter in the world guy. He kind of, like, if I were to recast this like a remake, which would be horrible, but if I were to do that, I'd probably do like just for the eccentric thing, like maybe like a Kanye West or whatever. And maybe people would disagree. I'm just saying how eccentric and crazy he is. It would make sense to me. It would make sense.
I gotta agree with you, man. Kanye would definitely match that centrism with Tom for sure. Tom is definitely not working on at a normal level.
No, he's not.
You know,
can you imagine being invited to his house?
His own world.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. I'm gonna kill one of you guys tonight. You just watch. He has 3 nights to do this. 3 nights, because there's 3 full moon nights.
All right.
To figure out which one it is. Let's see. So after Jan tries to leave, they have a dinner, right? He leaves before the dinner, or leaves after the dinner. I forget which one, but there's a dinner with the candle scene. That's important.
That's right. Yeah, I think that Jen leaves before. I could be wrong there, but I think he starts bringing up the werewolves, and he starts bringing up what they've done. You know, they've all been suspect. They've been around human bodies that have died, and there's been eating or devouring of the bodies involved. And so he believes somebody's really a werewolf.
Yeah. And I think they're at the dinner. Oh, before the dinner though, there was a really important thing where the wife is like, "What if I'm the werewolf?
Yeah.
What if I'm the werewolf?"
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. And I was like, at that point, after I kind of made my guess, I'm like, "There's no way they wouldn't make the wife the werewolf this whole time." But in the movie kind of had to be too, because in the candle scene, which is right afterwards, or they're at the dinner, the only person who reacts to the silver candle is Bennington, the kind of large guy, but it kind of looked like
Right.
he was staging it. I don't know why he was reacting like that. Like it's just like, screw you guys, whatever. I don't know. It's like,
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm pretty sure it was a red herring, just kind
Yeah,
of throw you
red herring.
off. But I thought the same thing.
you know what? And you're right about that because there's two characters in there that are red herrings. There's the Paul Foot guy because he was a little homicidal too. He looked like he was, playing axe games and weird, dangerous game, most dangerous game with,
That's right.
with Tom Newcliffe. And he was hairy. He looked like he could have been a werewolf. Like he could have been changing. I thought he could have been changing.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think there was a scene where he's thinking about shaving the back of his hands. Actually, went into the bathroom, and unfortunately, the guy who was doing the I guess had laid out the monitoring equipment decided that it would not be a good idea to put stuff in the bathroom for whatever the reason. So
Look at that. Yeah, the IT guy didn't want to put a camera in the bathroom. If I was going to be watched and screened by somebody, it would be him. He wouldn't invade my privacy.
right.
Which
Tom doesn't want to watch people. He
Yeah.
just wants to kill them.
he has a very important mission. He has to get this werewolf.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
But what was cool, you go back to that dinner scene you're talking about, and they're passing around that silver candle because apparently, according to Peter Cushing, right, there will be a reaction if the werewolf actually touches silver, I believe, is what he said.
Yeah. The doctor explained it. We're like, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. We all understand that trope, and that seemed fine. It seemed like everything was fine with that, and then we have our first, like, I guess, what was it? Tom Newcliffe is kind of hanging out with the IT guy, talk with him,
Oh, yeah.
and then they get that there's movement outside because the property is like,
That's right.
it's like electronically rigged or whatever to detect the motion. They can turn on the cameras to see people or to see who it is. They notice that, oh, that's a wolf. It's a wolf-like beast. Okay. So instead of checking the rooms in the house to see who's still here, using, I don't know, deduction or something, but like,
That's right.
he goes,
Tom jumps.
yeah, I'm going to just grab my gun. And not a
Into
machine
my
gun,
leather
which he has a machine gun. You find out later he has a machine gun. He grabs his hunting rifle. He's like, I'm going to take this. Okay. And he goes out there, which, by the way, I think we mentioned this before on the prior recording, but his outfits are great. Like the leather outfits he wears to go hunting.
Custom-made leather suits.
Yeah.
I don't know why anybody would want to hunt in a leather suit, but it looks cool.
It does. It does. And that's what this character's all about. Looking cool and being cool. Just about everything he says in the movie is pretty cool, actually.
I agree, man.
I think he sells it. He sells this movie.
He sure does.
In that hunt, for being the greatest hunter in the world, he missed quite a bit. Then again, it's dark, and the wolf was moving fast.
That's right.
Oh,
It was.
I was gonna say the thing I was kind of messed up. Did you notice, like, he didn't have like a headset or anything on him, right? Did he have like
Yeah. I don't remember a headset, actually. You know what? Now that you mention it, I don't think there was a headset.
Did he have like a walkie-talkie? Like, how was the IT guy talking to him when he was out there?
I have no idea, man, unless it was like a tiny little mic and an earpiece, but that's the 1970s. Did they have that back then?
I don't think
know.
so, man. I think it's just magic. I think it's magic.
Yeah.
But let's see.
And of course, that scary werewolf approaches, and I was shocked by that. It was horrifying, man. It was a German Shepherd. It was still cool, though. Still cool.
It was a very ferocious German Shepherd, man. Yeah, and that's the thing with this movie. It's a werewolf movie, but the werewolf, it's like, okay, like if I mean, could you have done like a cooler beast? Could you? I mean, we're not talking like the Wolfman where he would still be wearing clothes. We're talking about a werewolf. Like it would shed the clothes, and then I guess you figure out. You know what? At that point, then Tom could just be like, "Okay, I'm gonna check all your laundry now. I'm gonna check your laundry. Who's bursting out of their clothes?"
That's right,
dude. That's
right.
That's the thing too. I didn't even think about it. These characters go back in the same clothes that they were before, but the wolf, he's just in his natural wolf, like German Shepherd look. Like where did the clothes go? Where
exactly.
Did they go?
I mean, did they take him off ahead of time? Which I don't think so, because you see his wife transform later in the movie, and it's like really quick. Actually, you remember his wife totally transformed into that German Shepherd, and I don't know what happened to her clothes. That's strange.
And that
you
scene,
think that it, yeah,
that scene's kind of weird. See, okay. So I'm kind of jumping ahead here. The IT guy, he's like the first one taken out. The wolf takes him out. The werewolf does, because he's smart. He knows that he's the brains of the operation.
That's right. Calvin misses with his shots in the woods, and immediately contacts the guy like through magic, like you say, and tells him, "Hey, look out! The werewolf's coming for you." And of course, this guy doesn't believe in werewolves, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't believe him. But there's one right there about the pounce, which okay. Now the brains of the operation's out, and what they do next? They are eating lunch like outside. Like there's like no mention of that. Like, am I wrong? We watched the same movie. Did they mourn his death? Did they mention his death? Did they go? Oh, I mean,
no. I think Tom completely hides it, man. I don't think he even mentions it to the others at all.
That would have been something to bring up. It's like, okay, we have a death here. Which one of you guys did it? See, I'm not crazy. One of you guys killed him as a wolf.
Maybe they did mention it later on. I can't remember, man, but that's a good point. He didn't make a big deal of the death at all. I think the body was still lying in the room the whole time.
It was in the room. It was in the room. And he got like a replacement crew immediately. Like, well, he kind of said, oh, the helicopter. First he said earlier in the movie that the crew's gone. It's just going to be us. And then he was like, okay, but then he has a helicopter. The movie kind of, like, the details are like, all right, wait. So are we going to care about these people? Are you going to have backup? Are you going to have security? Or are you not? I don't know what's going on. Whatever the moment needs, whatever the next scene needs is what it's going to have. But at the same time, I mean, I sound like I'm dogging the movie, but the characters sell it.
Right.
And it's really Calvin Lockhart who really sells it. I mean, you believe this guy believes that there's a werewolf, and you're like, okay, he's looking for it.
It's definitely a fun movie for sure. I mean,
yeah. I think you were talking about the wife transforming when she was the dog. So yeah, later on, oh, there's a wolf out there, and now he's in the helicopter. He gets in the helicopter to chase the wolf. This time he gets a machine gun. And the world's best hunter. I understand missing when you're in the helicopter. You're probably gonna miss. But then he is on foot and he's chasing the werewolf, the dog, the German Shepherd, just shooting. Like just and missing. Like, I don't understand. How could he be the world's greatest hunter and not hit one time?
I don't get it either. I'm kind of baffled by that.
Unless, Mr. Beowulf, unless being the world's greatest hunter means something else entirely. I mean, what if? I mean, the guy is a billionaire. I mean, what if he has his hands in other businesses, and some require, I don't know, escorts and prostitutes? I'm just saying. Maybe he's a hunter of a different kind. I don't know.
That's true. That would explain the leather suits, man.
He has a very nice wardrobe. Okay. The man is cool. He has so much class and character. Okay.
agree with that.
But he misses the dog, but he destroys the helicopter. He blows up. They didn't have the budget to make the cars crash and just do that. They're like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna blow up this helicopter.
That's right. That's right.
It's like, actually, if you would have done something cool with the car chase at the beginning, I would have been like zoning out at that point. Apparently, you did have explosions in your budget here.
It's like either we can blow up the helicopter or we can fuck up these two $500 used cars. Let's go with the helicopter.
Yes. Oh man! And in that scene, he's shooting at a werewolf that's fighting with a dog, which is kind of, that's dog fighting. That's dog fighting in a movie. That's interesting.
Yes, it is. Different time.
And the dogs are going at it. I'm hoping they're trained to not really go at it, but I don't know. It is the 70s. It could have been like, we're gonna have them fight, but everything's gonna be all right. But the wife is at the scene. The wife comes to him wearing clothes, right? Or, wait, is that his wife? Is his wife there? No. You're right. His wife wasn't there, right? Because
no, his wife was there in the barn because the dog died and she was grieving over it. I think
that's right. His wife was in the barn, so she didn't transform then. That was Jan.
Right, and right. That's going to explain an important scene later on when she does turn into that werewolf, because I think she got a cut on her hand during lunch or something, and as she was tending to that dog, somehow I guess the werewolf blood got on the dog, and that's how she got infected.
That's how she got infected?
I believe so. I think so.
Huh. I thought she was a werewolf the whole time. I was thinking she was. So you're thinking she got infected during the movie and she became a werewolf?
Okay, the reason I think that is just because she would have, been with Tom for a long while. So if she really was a werewolf, then she would have done a very good job of hiding that, But right. I could be wrong. Maybe there were two the whole time, I mean,
because Tom would know if his wife was a werewolf. I
would think so, but maybe not.
He might not be the world's best hunter, like hunting animals, but I'm sure he's laying with his wife quite a bit. I mean, they seem like they're constantly.
That's right.
Yeah. So I would think he would know. You're right. So, she got infected during. Look at that. Yeah, I think what have made this, it's like what I think what would make this movie kind of better, in my opinion, is if they focus more on like the murder, sort of the mystery part of it, instead of like the, we're gonna have this, like I'm gonna be chasing him when he's out there and like he's trying to run away. Like, what if the werewolf is like, yeah, I am the werewolf and I'm gonna eat one of you guys too. Like it's like,
right?
Are you gonna figure out? Are you gonna figure this out? I don't know, bro. I don't think you're gonna figure this out. I'm gonna get you.
That would have been cool for sure.
Yeah. I've been like Clue or something where we're like sometimes some characters die and it's like, who could it be?
And you know what? It's funny you mentioned that because that's another movie it reminded me of was Clue. I thought the same thing.
Yeah,
and especially when you go. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, I get the Clue reference. I was thinking the same thing.
Especially when you get to that 30-second time clock at the end. I imagine being in the audience when that thing's at theater and they say you have 30 seconds to name who you think the werewolf is. Who is it? I can only imagine people who are really into it and calling out these names. I thought that was pretty cool. Something you don't see in movies. So it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that too. I was thinking, that's kind of like a one-time thing though, because after you watch it the first time, and it's like, whoa, wait. Well, you know what? Maybe you do go back and watch it again because maybe I missed out some hints. What you mean I was wrong? How was I wrong? Play back the tape. Wait, I have to pay the admission price again? Okay. I want to see this again, Man,
Oh, yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Now, I thought what was really cool about the film was when he just totally went fucking crazy and started taking silver bullets out of his magazine and handing everybody one. Each of you get a silver bullet, put it in your fucking mouth. We're going to find out who the werewolf is this time.
That's what I'm saying. That stuff is crazy.
And he had put the herb wolfsbane in their food, so they'd eat that because the wolfsbane is supposed to help them transform into the werewolf, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So
he was determined. He was convinced from the beginning. One of you guys is it.
That's right.
See, this movie could have gone a different direction. It could have been like psychological horror. This whole time, none of them was a werewolf. The guy's just fucking crazy.
That might have actually been a better movie, but this was good too. But that would have been cool.
Man, but one of you is the werewolf. I swear. It turns out the whole time he was the werewolf. I'm the werewolf. No.
That would have been freaky as fuck too, man. Oh man.
But we could have done that. That would have been cool. Oh, that would have been cool. Ah, shit. And honestly, what I was saying before, they wouldn't need all that elaborate stuff, most dangerous game chase sequence, because they already had a death in the mansion with one guy that wasn't really a essential cast. He was an IT guy. No, he was dressed pretty nice for an IT guy, honestly. But
yes, he was.
he was sticking out. And see, it's like he didn't need all that extra crap. He didn't need it. He could have just had a mystery movie and had that. Oh, but it had to be big. We have to have chase sequences. I mean, this is like in the 70s, and around this time they had chase sequences in other movies, like in Bond and stuff that were. Wait, did they around this time? Okay, well, what?
I can't really think of a good 70s chase sequence other than Bullet right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I don't think they had. Well, I guess the Italian Job had a pretty good chase sequence.
That's right.
Yeah, the 70s wasn't that advanced in car chase sequences typically. That was about what you could expect, man.
That's funny. Okay. So I guess overall, man, Mr. Beowulf, what do you think about this movie? Like, how would you rate it? Man.
I would rate it. I would give it 8 out of 10, man. The reason why it's really campy, it's really fun. It's different, I mean, it's different now, but it was different back then. I'd never seen another movie quite like that, So that's why it's just original, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. It was. I'm glad it was free. I'm glad it was on Amazon Prime. It's like a time capsule movie. You get a little bit of everything there. You get a little bit of everything. What I'm saying, I mean, technically, I guess it kind of was a black exploitation film. I guess around that time, but I didn't see that. I heard some people describe it like that just because you have a black main character or whatever. But it was cool. But it wasn't even like a point to make it a point. It was just like, he's black. No one even. That wasn't even a thing that came up,
Right. Which I thought was really advanced for the time period, and I really enjoyed that. But like you, I don't really get the black exploitation thing. At least not compared to the other black exploitation films I've seen. Right. This was pretty much a straight up horror film or mystery film.
Yeah.
Now I give it 8 stars, but keep in mind I was a little drunk by the time I watched it.
Yeah, I would say for just the nostalgia, not even nostalgia, because it's not like something I've seen before. Just like taking a glimpse of something in the past. I'm getting kind of like, it's like a time capsule movie, man. And knowing that, and knowing that there's that who's the werewolf gimmick, and being that we already revealed it, maybe watch this. You kind of already know now. I'd say about an 8 stars. 8 stars.
Yeah, I mean,
8 stars, but at the same time, you know, it doesn't really. I don't know if it holds up to like, you know, current movies now.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, this isn't something you'd want to spend to go see at the theater these days, or even to rent. I wouldn't recommend renting it, but if it's free and it's on Prime, I would definitely watch it for sure.
It's an 8-star Prime, Amazon Prime movie.
Right. That's
if it costs you money, honestly, probably like 4 stars or something. You know, it'd be like, well, you watch a history. You watched a thing of history. That's what you watched.
That's right, and it's got a very interesting plot as well. I mean, it's definitely different.
Yeah, I like that. Well, guys, let us know what you thought about this in the comment section. Press the like button, share, subscribe. You guys, ladies, take it easy.
All right, have a good night. Thank y'all.